Hello, I'm Penny, this is Penelope's Pitstop, and in this video we're going to be doing a recap on issues 7, 8 and 9, which is the engine supercharger and the details for the supercharger and details for the engine and supercharger.
For those who fought in the Battle of Britain, it was a battle for survival. For the free world, it was a breathless moment in history. For failure would have plunged mankind into a new dark age. Never have so many owed so much to so few.
So as always, I'll do a parts rundown list. We have 701 and 702 as supercharger covers, 703 is the back of the supercharger, 704 tank tubing, and 705, 706, 707 are all supercharger details. So this is the finished article, and the way we achieve this is we glue together supercharger covers parts 7.1 and 702, and then stage 2 will be adding the back of the supercharger. Stage 3 is we will glue 706, 705 together, the supercharger detail. This is a pipe shape. We then add on the two supercharger, the tank tubing, stages 704 onto supercharger detail 707. We then add that 707 onto the back of the supercharger, part 703, back of supercharger. And then we then add on stage 3, which is 705, 706, and this is what you are left with. So the parts list for issue 8 is part 1 and part 2, supercharger backing. Part 3 is the base of backing. 8.4 is a black sprue with supercharger details A to D, and part 5 is a silver sprue with supercharger details E to K, and then part 6 is a black supercharger pipe detail, and part 7 is the supercharger hose detail. That's mostly silver with a little black bit. So when you've finished, it will look like this, and the way you achieve this is that you take parts 1 and 2, the supercharger backings, and you glue those together using the peg, and then you take the base 803 base of backing and you add the stage 1 onto stage 2. You then add that to the supercharger that you built the previous issue, and then you need to put the two pieces of detail together, A and B, and then you take the two pieces of detail E and F, gluing them all together. Piece G goes on to piece E, and then a little bit of a tricky stage, you take that stage and then you need to add on two tiny details, which is part I. And then separately you glue together parts C and D, and then stages 9 and 10 is just explaining where to add those. Stage 11 again is adding small detail. J is added at stage 12. Then the first pipe goes on, and then the second pipe, and then it's just lots of tiny detail. Now it is quite fiddly, but the results are actually quite amazing. Like I say, this is what you end up with. So this is another fiddly looking issue, and then you've got the parts 1 and 2, which is the engine top cover left and right. Parts 3 and 4 is the engine pipe left and right. Part 5 is the top pipe, part 6 is the lower pipe, part 7 is frame with supercharger details A to D, and these are all silver, and then the next 4 stages, 8, 9, 10, 11, they're all coolant pipes. Now 8 is silver and black, 9 again is silver and black but with a different black detail, 10 is black, and 11 is silver. Okay, so for stage 9 we first of all need to take parts 5 and 6, which is the pipe top and lower. We need to glue those together. Stage 2 we take pieces 1 and 4, which is the engine top cover and the engine pipe left, and we need to glue those together. Stage 3 we're gluing the corresponding parts 2 and 3, which are engine pipes and engine top cover, and then we're adding those to the pipe that we've put together in stage 1. Now it looks a little bit tricky, but once you've done this you can actually just leave it aside for a bit. Then we need to start putting together the supercharger details. There's parts stage 6, which is A and B. Stage 7 we're putting C and D together, and then these get added on to the supercharger in stages 8 and 9. Then we get to stage 10, where we will be adding parts 9 and 11, which is one of the coolant pipes. We then need to add that to the supercharger, and then we need to slide in the part that we have put together for stage 5, and then we'll just be adding a few more details, which I will go through with you now. So this is my finished part, and there's just a couple of bits I want to make note of, and I need a pointy stick. I really should have got my pointy stick out ready beforehand. So the main point is obviously you've got all of the details. Now it may look complicated, but I've got to be honest with you, you can't really go wrong. The way that it's built up stage by stage, there is nowhere wrong to put anything. However, stage 9 I start to run into problems. First of all, I got a little bit of overspill there, and I managed to chip the paint. That's not going to be a problem because I'm going to be able to repaint that. So I'm actually repainting all of the top black. Now this is the part where you have to glue it in at an angle, and you glue these two together before you pop this part in the middle. Now I struggled to find the correct angle, and what I actually found was when I came to put this piece in, it pushed these two pieces apart. As a result, I've not actually been able to keep it to stay in. You see there, it actually comes apart. I'm really not going to worry about it, because it slides in there. It used to slide in there. There is a little bit of give, you see, but now that I've glued these pipes on, it's actually not going to go anywhere. So there we go. So now that's in. Now the other point to note is you have two pipes here, and it's actually quite easy to glue these in, but it doesn't make it very clear where they go on the top of the supercharger. Now as you see, I've got them running. In fact, this actually has come out. So, but this one isn't a problem for me. This was the problem. This has been pulled very, very tight to get it in there. I would advise you use tweezers. But these parts just need to be glued to go run along that brass line there, you see. So yeah, that's my supercharger, and I am very happy with it. Now this is issue 9, and this is what the whole thing looks like at issue 9. Now I want to tell you that next week I am still going to be carrying on with a catch-up, but I will actually be building. This is as far as I've got. Now this is the one concern I have. This is obviously going to go on there somehow. What I want to know is how that's going to go in with that wire, because I assume that's going in like so. Where's that wire going? unless it's coming straight down. If anybody knows, please leave a comment. But I'm just worried about that getting damaged. That just looks awkward for a wire, doesn't it? And if you're gonna, I don't know, maybe it's gonna go in a wall. Anyway, look, this is where I'm up to. I don't know, this is all I'm up to. So next week I'm going to be doing catch up for many weeks. So I'm still going to be releasing 2 episodes a week. So next week will be 10 and 11. Do you know what, I may even I'll slip a 3rd issue in somewhere so that I finish on an even. Do you know what, there we go. So yeah, that's my build, guys, and that looks amazing. I have to say, that looks amazing. And I'll give you a bit of a spoiler. I have actually seen all the way up to issue 22, and it's going to look even more amazing. So yeah guys, I will speak to you next week.